is a relation a function? Think about this question during the lesson. Solana is shipping 5 boxes for her uncle. Each box is the same size, but a different weight. The cost to ship each box is shown. Should Solana expect that the cost to ship a 15-pound box will be a unique cost? You can begin by stacking the boxes according to their weight. Put the heaviest box on the bottom. Is there a relationship between the weight of the box and the cost to ship the box? The heavier the package, the greater the cost. However, the costs do not increase at a constant rate. Now organize the data using ordered pairs: input, weight, and output, cost. The top box weighs 8 pounds and costs $8.56 to ship. The ordered pair is 8 and 56/100ths. The next box weighs 9 pounds and costs $8.72. 10 pounds costs $9.01. 12 pounds costs $9.55. And 14 pounds costs $10.03. Any set of ordered pairs, like the 5 we have here, is called a relation. Let's use an arrow diagram to match each input value to its output value. 8 pounds on one side, $8.56 on the other. And we can repeat this for the other 4 ordered pairs. Which group represents the outputs?
Select your answer.
A relation is a function when each input is assigned exactly one output. Is the relation shown a function? The diagram shows that for each input, there is exactly one output. The relation is a function. The complete set of possible values of the input is called the domain. The complete set of possible values of the output is called the range. So Solana can expect that the cost to ship a 15-pound box will be a unique cost. So what do you expect to be true about the cost for Solana to ship a 15-pound box? A 15-pound box should cost more than $10.03. Now you know how to use an arrow diagram to decide whether a relation is a function. Ty needs to advertise his company. He considers several different brochures of different side lengths and areas. He presents the data as ordered pairs of side length and area. 4, 24, 5, 35, 8, 24, 2, 20, 9, 27. Enter the missing domain values and complete the arrow diagram. Is the area of a brochure a function of the side length?
We're going to complete the arrow diagram by putting in the missing numbers. So we already have 2. Our x values are going to be our input slash, I'll write it down here. This will also be called our domain. And then this will be our output. And this will be range. Okay, So now we're going to put in all our inputs. So we got 2. The next one will be 4. The next one would be 5. The next one would be 8. And the last is 9. Now we have to connect the arrows with its corresponding Y value or output. So 2 is connected to 20. 4 is to 24. 5 is to 35. 8 is to 24. And 9 is to 27. The question is the area of a brochure a function of the side length? And the answer would be that it is a function because all of our outputs are connected to only one of our inputs. So yes, it would be a function.
Frank uses a table to record the ages and heights of the 6 students he tutors. Is the relation a function? Explain.
So we're going to determine whether each input has exactly one output. So for 9-year-olds that he has, one's 54 inches, one's 61. The 2 8-year-olds, one's 45 and one's 50. The domain is the ages given. The range is the heights that are given. So there is no relation. This is not a function. The relation between the input and output is there's not just one input and output. There are 2 inputs that have more than one output. So it cannot be a function because they have to each have only one.
Frank reverses the ordered pairs to show the heights and ages of the same 6 students. Is age a function of height? Explain.
Okay, so we have our ordered pairs. I'm going to do an arrow diagram like we saw in one of our examples. And so this will be input, output, and I'll write domain and range so we can keep those words in our vocabulary. Okay, so let's list our inputs. We're going to use the age, 9, 10. Oh, I got to go in order, least to greatest. So, well, I like to do that. We have 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, and 12. Now we're going to put our heights. So we have, I'm going to try to put this in order from least to greatest. Let's see, we got 45, 50, 54, 61, and 65. Now we have to connect them. So we have, for our first 8, we have 8 and 45. For our second 8, we have 8 and 50. Then we have our first 9, 54. Then we have second 9 is 61. Okay, so far looking good. Then we get to our 10 and 54. 10. Oh, that's also going to 54. And then 12 is going to 65. So now that we see how they all relate, age would not be a function because we have two of them going to the same output. So that would not make this a function, the age a function of the height.
Use the domain and range to determine whether the relation represented by the given graph is a function.
Okay, so here are the ordered pairs for each of the points. And the excuse me, the domain is the x coordinates and the range are the y coordinates. The relation is a function because each value corresponds to only one value in the range. So none of the inputs are connected to the same output. So that makes it a function.
Determine whether the relation represented by the graph is a function.
So we must list all of the ordered pairs, and I'm going to type these in. Let's see, green. Okay, so this first, I'm just going to copy it in order from left to right. So this ordered pair is -2 and -4. And I'll put them in parentheses so we're clear. Okay. I wonder if I could change the color of one or the other like they did in the example. Oh, I can. Okay, so I'm going to do that. All right, so our next one is -2 and oh my goodness, I made a mistake that I tell my students not to make. So it's going to be -4 and -2. My apologies. I'm going to make this green. And then this is negative. Change that to green. -2. Oh, didn't change it. Okay, green. And then, where was that? -2 and -1. So -1 will be in the blue. And for time's sake, I'm going to finish the rest. It is not a function. I've gone ahead and completed everything. It is not a function because the -2 in a domain has corresponding to two other values in the range, and that cannot be if it is going to be a function. So no, this is not a function.